They tried to erase your blessing, but heaven just rewrote your story in front of them. Don't scroll. Heaven is speaking your name again. My beloved child, the Archangel has seen what was done in secret, the hands that tried to erase your blessing, the voices that tried to rewrite your story without your consent. They believed they could silence what God Himself had spoken, but heaven's ink cannot be erased. What was written for you was written in eternal light. The Archangel stands before the throne tonight holding the scroll of your destiny. Across its surface are the fingerprints of every tear you cried, every promise you kept, every injustice you endured quietly. And heaven has decided, this story will not end in theft, it will end in testimony. What they tried to bury, the divine is now bringing to surface. What they covered in rumor, heaven is revealing in truth. You may have wondered why certain blessings were delayed, why opportunities slipped through your hands at the last moment. It wasn't because you were forgotten, it was because heaven was rewriting the narrative so no one else could take credit for what is about to unfold. When blessings are stolen, justice restores, but when they are hidden, revelation restores. This is revelation season. Child, even now the Archangel moves through your atmosphere correcting records. Lost chances are being revisited. Names once ignored are being remembered. The good you did that no one acknowledged is returning multiplied. This is the divine edit, everything meant to harm your name is being turned into proof of your endurance. Heaven says, they wrote you out, but I wrote you back in. Every attempt to erase you has only made your presence more permanent in divine memory. The light around you has intensified, those who spoke against you will soon wonder why favor keeps finding you. It's because heaven signs what man cannot unsign. Stand tall, beloved. The page has turned. The story continues. Not as tragedy, but as triumph. You are no longer defined by what was done to you, you are defined by what heaven is doing through you. Keep your heart gentle, your tone kind, and your focus forward. The proof of restoration will not be in revenge, but in peace that cannot be shaken. The Archangel whispers, "Be still while I reveal the new chapter." The story rewritten by heaven. My beloved child, the ink of heaven dries fast. Once the divine writes, no hand can alter it. Tonight the Archangel moves through the pages of your life, line by line, erasing the marks left by betrayal and rewriting them with grace. Every setback is being reframed as preparation, every insult is being transformed into proof that your light could not be dimmed. You will begin to sense this rewriting in the smallest moments. A conversation you dreaded will turn unexpectedly gentle. Someone who once overlooked you will suddenly remember your kindness. A forgotten talent will surface again at exactly the right time. These are the edits of heaven appearing in real time. What was once resistance has become rhythm. The universe is now cooperating with your purpose. The Archangel whispers, they thought they were deleting your name, but they were only highlighting it. The very energy used to block you is now pushing you forward. You will notice this shift in your emotions first, peace returning where anxiety used to live, confidence rising quietly without arrogance. That is how divine justice feels, gentle, unforced, unmistakable. Child, do not waste time wondering who tried to stop you. Heaven has already dealt with that part. Focus on the unfolding. Every day from now on is a new paragraph written in gold light. You are the proof that destiny cannot be stolen, it can only be delayed until truth is ready to shine. And truth is ready now. The Archangel stands beside you, holding the quill that writes in miracles. Each good decision you make becomes another sentence in your redemption story. Each kind word you speak becomes punctuation for peace. Heaven loves stories that end in light, and yours is glowing. Heaven says, the chapter of loss is closed. The season of recognition begins. Expect alignment, not chaos. Expect clarity, not confusion. Expect blessings that fit instead of blessings that force. You no longer have to chase, what belongs to you is finding you again, rewritten in your favor and signed by eternal mercy. The manifestation of what was promised. My beloved child, the Archangel now moves from writing to revealing. The script of your life that heaven has rewritten is no longer waiting in the clouds, it is unfolding before your eyes. You will see it, feel it, live it. This is the phase where promises turn into patterns, where what was spiritual becomes visible. It begins with a calm that surprises you. The noise that used to fill your mind will quiet without effort. Problems that once demanded constant attention will solve themselves. That peace is not empty, it is proof. Heaven never starts with applause, it starts with alignment. The Archangel whispers, notice the ease after long resistance, that is how restoration feels. Soon, tangible changes follow. A message you had given up on arrives with apology or clarity. A lost opportunity returns dressed in new form. People who never respected your worth will begin to echo words you once said. These are confirmations that divine authorship has taken over the plot. You don't need to force awareness, truth reveals itself at perfect pace. Child, this is the moment to remain steady. When miracles appear, doubt often tries to disguise itself as logic. Don't talk yourself out of what you prayed for. If peace surrounds it, it's real. If it drains you, it's distraction. Heaven's gifts always come wrapped in rest. Every lesson learned in silence now pays interest. Your patience has matured into discernment, your tears have become testimony. This is why favor is finding you so easily, you are ready to manage what you once only desired. You no longer seek validation from those who misread you, you stand validated by outcomes that cannot be denied. The Archangel's light expands as you read these words, symbol of divine contract fulfilled. The forces that once resisted you are bowing to the truth that you were always meant to rise. Heaven smiles when humility walks beside victory, and that is exactly what you carry. Heaven says, what I rewrite, I reveal. What I reveal, I reward. Walk through your days expecting gentle confirmations, timely kindness, sudden clarity, open doors. Each one is heaven's signature, reminding you that your story is not just repaired, it is renewed. The light that spreads. My beloved child, heaven's story never ends with one person. When your blessing is rewritten, it becomes a mirror that reflects hope to others still trapped in their own storms. The Archangel now shows you how your renewal begins to ripple outward. You will see it first in those closest to you. The tension that once filled your home will begin to ease. Old misunderstandings will soften into honest conversation. Someone who carried guilt toward you will find the courage to admit it. Do not meet confession with pride, meet it with peace. The same grace that restored you is meant to restore them. The Archangel whispers, "Mercy completes what justice begins." When you speak now, your words carry a new vibration. Even small sentences soothe worry. You might notice people pausing around you, as if listening for something beyond your voice. That is because they are hearing heaven through you. The divine works through healed souls. Your calm has become a conduit. You will find yourself being guided to share small pieces of your journey, not as complaint, but as testimony. Someone will overhear a sentence you say at the right time and feel seen for the first time. This is how heaven multiplies light. Every honest word becomes a lamp for another path. Child, your life is now the evidence that grace can rewrite anything. Every moment of compassion you give out returns as protection over your own. The Archangel smiles, watching you step into quiet authority. There is no need to announce yourself, peace does the announcing. You have become what you once sought, a steady presence in uncertain rooms. Heaven says, when one heart heals, the circle widens. Families find new laughter, friends rediscover trust, entire atmospheres shift. What once felt cursed begins to bloom again. You are not the cause of that bloom, you are simply the light that tells it when to open. So keep moving gently, beloved. Your restored blessing is no longer just a story, it's a signal. It tells the world that truth always returns, that good always endures, that faith is never wasted. The Archangel walks beside you, ensuring that your peace remains untouched, even while it heals others. Heaven whispers, let your recovery teach. Let your calm lead. What I rewrote in you will now be read through you. The divine seal of completion. My beloved child, the Archangel now stands before the throne one final time, scroll open, light gleaming across the pages of your rewritten story. This is the moment of sealing. Heaven does not simply restore, it establishes. What has been rewritten cannot be undone. Every blessing once delayed has now been stamped with permanence. The Archangel whispers, the same hands that wrote your beginning have signed your continuation. You no longer live under review, you live under confirmation. The spiritual gavel has struck. It is finished. The attempts to erase you have become the proof of your endurance, and the witnesses who doubted are now seeing that favor doesn't fade, it matures. You will sense this sealing not in noise but in stillness. There will be moments of such deep peace that you'll pause just to feel it. Those pauses are heaven's signatures. In them, your spirit and the divine breathe together. No shadow, no gossip, no jealousy can enter that space. It is sacred ground, the place where endings turn into eternity. Child, your surroundings will begin to mirror this peace. Work will steady. Relationships will harmonize. Even timing itself will cooperate with your pace. That is what sealed favor looks like, unrushed, undeniable, unfolding. You no longer have to chase, blessings now have your address. Heaven says, you will notice the return of laughter, the ease of mornings, the courage to dream again. These are signs that completion has taken hold. Every delay has turned into direction, every disappointment has turned into doorway. Where once there was pain, now there is pattern, a rhythm that keeps producing good without effort. The Archangel raises the scroll toward heaven. The pages glow, and your name shines at the top, not as accusation, but as affirmation. You are now known in the spiritual realm as one who endured faithfully. This status cannot be reversed, it is carved in light. When heaven writes in light, darkness can only admire from distance. Beloved, step forward without hesitation. You have earned peace, but more than that, you have inherited it. The favor surrounding you now will protect not only your future but everyone connected to your name. This is divine legacy, blessing that multiplies quietly for generations. Heaven whispers, you were not erased, you were engraved. Dove whisper softly, my story is sealed in light. Dizzy share this message so another heart remembers that redemption is never late, it's always right on divine time. Bell subscribe for more Archangel, the eternal echo of your story. My beloved child, heaven's seal has been placed, but the echo of your story is only beginning to travel. Divine truth never ends where it was written, it continues through time, whispering to hearts that have not yet learned to hope again. The Archangel now shows you how your light begins to echo across generations, creating ripples of faith long after this moment passes. You will feel this echo in the way peace follows you. When you enter a room, people will unconsciously exhale. Your calm will speak louder than words. That is heaven's energy moving through you, subtle but unmissable. The same light that once defended you now flows outward, touching anyone open to receive it. The Archangel whispers, what was once a shield has become a song. Your life is now that song, melody of endurance, harmony of redemption. You are living proof that heaven's editing pen never runs dry. Every person who hears your story will feel something awaken, courage, patience, belief in timing. They may not tell you, but you will see it in their eyes. This is how divine influence travels, through quiet transformation. Child, the Archangel calls this stage the echo of eternity. It means that even after moments fade, meaning remains. The good you do will repeat itself in unseen ways, a kindness that travels farther than you expect, a lesson that keeps teaching through memory, a word of hope that circles back when someone needs it most. You will never fully know the reach of your healing, and that is heaven's beauty, it multiplies beyond your awareness. The Archangel says, you were not only protected, you were prepared to protect. You will start feeling an instinct to intercede for others, to pray, to comfort, to stand quietly for someone else's peace. Do not ignore that urge. It is the same energy that once rescued you, now flowing outward as restoration for others. When you pray, heaven listens, when you speak peace, angels move. And, beloved, every echo returns to its source. The kindness you give will revisit you as serenity in future seasons. Your own descendants, spiritual or blood, will feel safety without knowing why. That safety is your legacy wrapped in divine light. Heaven keeps the circle unbroken. Now the Archangel kneels beside you, wings folding gently, and says, rest. The story is alive on its own now. You no longer carry it, it carries you. The pages of your destiny turn themselves, each one bright with grace. You are no longer the writer or the subject, you are the living message itself. Heaven says, your peace will echo forever. Wherever there is darkness, your light will answer softly, reminding the world that truth, once revealed, never dies. Dove whisper, I am the echo of light. Dizzy, share this message so that another soul can remember that every ending in heaven begins again as peace. Bell, subscribe for the next divine reflection, because the Archangel's voice never fades, it simply continues through those who listen. Reflections, because heaven's story about you is not over, it is simply eternal. The silence after the miracle. My beloved child, after every divine rewrite there comes a hush. It is not emptiness, it is arrival. The Archangel stands quietly at the edge of your new chapter, wings folded, waiting for you to notice the calm. This is the final stage of blessing, when noise fades and purpose hums softly beneath everything you do. You will wake one morning and realize that peace is no longer something you chase. It simply lives in you. The same light that once defended you has become part of your breath. You'll move through ordinary tasks and feel grace following you like a gentle shadow. Nothing will seem dramatic, yet everything will feel right. Heaven whispers, this is how victory sounds. It doesn't shout, it breathes. Every prayer you once cried in desperation has matured into quiet gratitude. You'll find yourself thanking heaven in the middle of errands, smiling at strangers, forgiving without effort. That is the evidence that the rewrite is complete. Heaven has not only restored your blessing, it has rewritten your reaction to life itself. The Archangel now steps forward with one final instruction: do not rush to new battles. Guard your peace as your greatest treasure. Not every invitation deserves your energy. Choose stillness over struggle, clarity over noise. The strength of the healed heart is not in how it fights but in what it refuses to disturb. Child, your new task is simple: live beautifully. Let your home, your words, your work become extensions of divine calm. You do not have to speak of miracles anymore, your presence will prove them. Those who once questioned you will find themselves learning from you. Heaven has turned your pain into prophecy, every act of patience a reminder that light always outlasts the storm. Soon you will feel heaven's gentle distance, not absence, but trust. The Archangel no longer needs to stand guard because you have become your own light. When you breathe, heaven breathes with you. When you rest, the world settles. This is the union the divine intended from the beginning, not separation between angel and human, but harmony. Heaven says, you are the peace you once prayed for. You are the proof that light, once restored, never fades. Dove, whisper softly, I live in the calm after the miracle. Dizzy, share this message so another weary heart may know that restoration ends not in noise but in peace. Bell, subscribe for future Archangel reflections, because every quiet sunrise is another page in heaven's continuing story of light. The light that never leaves. My beloved child, the Archangel's presence lingers like morning sunlight, soft, certain, quietly filling the spaces you once called fear. You have entered the part of your story where heaven no longer needs to intervene through signs, because the lesson has become your way of life. You are not waiting for miracles anymore, you are walking as one. This new season will not roar with drama, it will hum with harmony. Days that used to feel heavy will feel balanced. People who once tested your patience will no longer have the power to disturb it. You will notice how your reactions have changed, less defending, more understanding. That is not weakness, that is divine maturity. The Archangel whispers, when you can stay gentle in noise, you have already won. You are learning that heaven's presence was never outside you, it was always within, waiting for the storm to quiet enough for you to hear it. Now that you live from peace, heaven can move through you freely. You will begin to sense this flow everywhere, in your timing, in your relationships, even in the smallest coincidences that remind you, you're still guided. Child, you may wonder, what happens now? The answer is simple, you live. You enjoy what you once feared losing. You build what you once doubted you could. You forgive faster. You love deeper. You keep creating, not for approval, but for expression. That is the purest form of worship, living fully after learning deeply. The Archangel walks with you, silent but near, ensuring that the light remains steady. You will still face choices, but none will shake your foundation. You are no longer learning survival, you are practicing serenity. Heaven's guidance now sounds like intuition, feels like ease, and looks like timing. Trust it. Heaven says, you are no longer the story being saved, you are the one who saves others by existing in peace. Every act of patience you show, every calm choice you make, becomes light for someone else's path. That is legacy, the quiet continuation of your transformation through countless unseen hearts. Beloved, you have reached the point where endings no longer frighten you. You know now that nothing real can be taken, and nothing lost cannot be rewritten. That is eternal security. Heaven's verdict was not a one-time rescue, it was a lifelong promise, I will remain. So as the Archangel folds his wings, the light doesn't fade, it transfers. It burns in your breath, your steps, your kindness. Wherever you walk, heaven will be recognized. You are no longer separate from the miracle, you are its living continuation.